All right. So happy Wednesday, team family time. I'm so excited to see you guys. So tonight's call is going to be a little bit different than, calls we've had some weeks, and we do have some weeks. The reason I called this family time is because going forward, we'll have one call a month that we're calling family time. And really, it's just kind of a chance to brainstorm and a mastermind together. I've been a part of masterminds over the past 5 months that Beachbody essentially. So, in case you didn't know this, sidebar here, Beachbody, once you hit Diamond, you get a corporate mentor. So, basically, they have corporate mentors for every ranking. So, for Diamond, there's a corporate mentor, and then, 2-star Diamond, 3-star Diamond. So, as you move up, you get a corporate mentor, and obviously, the higher up you move, there's less people they're mentoring. So you get more one-on-one time and that kind of thing. So when I hit 2-star, I got put into a corporate mentor group where basically every Wednesday she hosts a a mastermind call. And it's typically about 5 to 6 women. And she just kind of has a topic and she kind of guides discussion. And it has been so helpful because I've learned about things that other people are working on. And there are a lot of the things that we've implemented this year have been things that I've learned from other coaches. And then, because the thing is, at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, right? And so we're all doing it a million different ways, which is great. But there may be things where it's like, hey, I'm sitting here thinking about how I could do something like that. Maybe, Caitlin's already created that resource and I don't even know it. So we can have those discussions and then share each other's resources, whether it's on the Google Drive or whatever. So once a month going into 2019 and really the balance of the year, I want to have this family time call. And it's also a chance for you guys to get to know each other as well. And beyond just, seeing each other's little bitty Facebook page picture in their group, but to really get to know each other and have true community, because I just think there's so much power in sharpening one another and it not just being like, oh, this is what Caroline's doing, but to hear what everyone is kind of working on and things that they're doing in their business. So for tonight's call, I kind of want to kick things off a little bit and chat for a second about Transform 20. And then I really want to share with you guys tonight what I did in my business around 80-day obsession, and then kind of just throw it out to everyone. So probably the next 10-ish minutes, I'll talk just about my process and what I think is a good approach to a launch. Obviously, we have Transform 20 coming up, and then we can all brainstorm together on, hey, what aspects do we want to do as a team? Are there things that we can do, resources we can pull together, maybe even ideas that you guys have that, I haven't thought about. So I will just back up by saying that 80-day obsession. So for you guys who are new and you weren't around last year, 80-day obsession was set up very similar to Transform 20. So Transform 20 is a brand new program. In case you've been living under a hole, I should probably just say what that is first. Transform 20 is a brand new program by Shaun T. You guys know Shaun T is an OG Beachbody trainer. He was one of the originals. His big program that was kind of his breakout program was Insanity. So basically what happened was, it was like Tony Horton with P90X, P90 and then P90X. And then there was Shailene Johnson, who did Turbo Fire and all of her programs. And she's still around, but it was kind of like Tony Horton, Shailene, and then Shaun T came on the scene. And so I don't know about you guys, but I remember in college, hearing about people doing P90X, and then all these people started doing Insanity. And that was really the first time I had seen people really start working out at home. And so I remember seeing my mom doing Turbo Fire. So Shaun T's been around a long time, and he has a very loyal following, crazy loyal following, to the point where if people know Shaun T's coming out with a program, they're going to do it even if they don't even know the workout or anything about it. They're going to do it because they love Shaun T. And so it's great for us as coaches because he has built such a fan base, and he has millions of people, maybe not millions, thousands of people that he has literally helped transform their lives. And so he's written a book. He's been very successful, on his own, apart from Beachbody, but with Beachbody as well. So Transform 20 came out of really, he kind of shared the story at Summit, but he this past year had twins, so little twin boys. And because he's, fancy, he has like full-time nannies. But he was talking to the nannies one day, which is funny to me because most people would say the parents, but, for him it was the nannies. But I guess when you're a celebrity trainer, you work out for work, so it's a little bit different. But he was talking to them and they're like, man, it's just so hard because we work full time, and we're taking care of children. We're not like working out isn't a part of our job. So it's hard for us to fit a workout in. Like, it's just really difficult with how crazy our days are, especially like an effective workout that gives us good results. And so he's like talking to them and he's trying to help them, and I think it's just funny because I'm picturing this conversation of like these nannies who like, got the job and they realized they're working for like a fitness celebrity and they're like, crap, now I got to work out, so I'm just like picturing this conversation. But long story short, he literally was like, it was kind of this profound moment for him because his whole life, it's like, he hasn't had kids. So he hasn't had to even think about that. So all of a sudden he kind of had this new perspective of like, wow, like this is what it's like for moms or, whatever. This is what it's like to be a parent and have kids and try to work full time and then squeeze in a workout in my day. And so I think it's cool because pretty much every single program we have, if you've heard Shailene speak, she created Turbo Fire out of a like love for like fun fitness because she grew up in a family where like fitness wasn't fun. And so it's just cool to hear how literally these celebrity trainers created these programs out of a problem, right? And so it's things that we can carry over even to when we're sharing the story of the program with our friends or whoever, our challengers of like, hey, this was created out of an overflow of like an actual need. So basically, Shanti created this program. It's amazing, and I cannot wait to like. I've already got the Instagram post written in my mind of some of the things I'm going to say about step programs from watching my mom at the YMCA. Girl was like 40 weeks pregnant doing some step classes at the YMCA. And so we're bringing back the stepper, but it's not going to be like the cheesy step workouts that my mom did at the YMCA, even though they actually were really hard looking. But those steps are way more effective than we give them credit for. So it's an incredible program. If you didn't get to hear Patrice share her story, she was actually chosen to be a part of the test group, which in itself is incredible. Like, I think that should be on every single coach's bucket list of like, dream to be in a test group because that's just amazing. But she got incredible results. She lost like 8 pounds, which if you haven't seen Patrice in person, she didn't really have 8 pounds to lose. But she lost 8 pounds and just really got lean and shredded from it. And so she just said it's an incredible program. 20 minutes a day, anybody can do that. And so I'm really, really excited about this program. I back in the day when Max 30 came out, which Insanity Max 30 is Shanti's 30-minute version of Insanity, I started with T25 as a Beachbody coach. That was my program I bought with my challenge pack back in the day before Beachbody On Demand. And then I did Insanity Max 30, and I got like 5 coaches out of that group who were my first coaches. They're all just discount coaches now, but they were my first coaches, right out of this Insanity Max 30 group. And so it's really exciting for me because I feel like I've seen like the evolution of like Shanti's workout. So I'm like, I cannot wait to do this. But anyways, so let me just chat really quickly, now that I've kind of talked about the program, a little bit about what I did last year and how it really propelled my business. Because I think like looking back over the past 4 years of my business, the first 2 years, really a year and a half, I guess you'd say, we were selling DVDs still. So the challenge packs that I was selling people were, oh, I want to do 21-day fix. Okay, perfect. Like, let's get you plugged in with 21-day fix. All right, here's your link. Here's your order. And, that was how things were rolling. And then all of a sudden Beachbody On Demand came out. And at first you only had access to the programs that you purchased. And so it was a little bit funky. Everyone's like, okay, well, like, why not just get the DVD? Why would I stream it? But, it was this evolution of Beachbody really trying to figure things out because TV and media has changed so much. And so that really like year 2, or I guess you'd say 3, almost 2.5, my Beachbody business like really was pretty stagnant. And it was actually like a pretty scary time for a lot of people who'd been in Beachbody for a really, really long time. Michelle will tell you this, every single coach who'd been in it for like 10 years, like their incomes really dipped that year because we went from selling people all these DVDs where it's like, I'm done with 21 Day Fix. Now let me come buy T25. Now let me come buy this. I mean, these people are dropping like $150 a month on brand new programs. And then all of a sudden it's like Beachbody On Demand. They pay one time, like, whatever it was at the time, and they have a year. And it's like, whoa, I just lost so many customers. So last year, when 80-Day Obsession came out, this is the first program on Beachbody On Demand. It had evolved even since then, but this is the first program on Beachbody On Demand where every single workout was different. And that's the beauty of Beachbody On Demand now, is that, Autumn said this herself in the test group that I did. She's like, if we were still doing DVDs, this program would be like $800 because there were so many workouts. Like, to put that on a DVD would be so expensive. Like, people would end up with like 30 DVDs because that's like, they would literally have to go through all the workouts like that. And so having the streaming process now, they can video it really quick. People have instant access to it. Like, just makes things so much better. And so, going into the 80-Day Obsession, it was literally set up just like Transform 20. So December, we started pre-selling, which is what's going to happen with Transform 20. December 4th is when things will, I think it's 4th, yes, is when things will go live. And people can start purchasing their packages, but they won't actually get access to the program until January 14th, which is a long time. Like, that's a month of people waiting to get plugged into the challenge group. And so I just really wanted to talk tonight about kind of how I did that, because y'all, December and January, I mean, typically people are like, oh, December is going to be a really hard month. And that is true because it's Christmas. But I had so much momentum last year in December in my business that I literally tripled my income this year in my Beachbody business. And December and December and January were really like the takeoff months for that. And it's sustained itself throughout the year, which has been incredible. So, and I'll say, yes, like I had some new coaches come on in December and January, but a lot of it was just really amazing, engaged challengers. Like, I look back over this past year and I think I've had some of the best challengers and ladies in my boot camps like ever. And they're still with me and they're still on Shakeology and they're still staying in it because they just had such an amazing experience. So, excuse me. So if you haven't seen, Patrice shared a lot of stuff with us in the Facebook group that she has put together. And I did some really similar things to what she's already shared when I was putting together my 80-Day Obsession group. Basically, what I started to do was, and this is kind of what's going to be happening for us as well, is in December, I started just talking about this program all the time. Like, hey, I know it's Christmas. I know that you're not thinking about buying a gift for yourself, but maybe you tell your husband that for this year for Christmas, you want to get fit and healthy going into the new year. And I talked about, guys, I had probably 20 women buy challenge packs. I think I ended up getting at least 40 Success Club points between like 1 month, like 30 something, and the next month. It was crazy. And that was in December when everyone was like on the Christmas, like everything was happening for Christmas. And so to see that much momentum in my business was insane. But it was literally like, and the thing is, guys, is like this program was 20 minutes. 80-Day Obsession workouts are like an hour. So people's excuses are, people have way more excuses of why they can't do 80-Day Obsession, right? Like, I'll be honest, like I can't do that program again. Like, I can't. Like, it was too much of a commitment for me. The meal plan was really hard. It was difficult, right? It's a great program. It totally works. But I feel like we're set up for more success with Transform 20 going into the holidays. And saying, going into the new year with like such an amazing plan of like even pairing it with 2B mindset and like literally changing your mindset going into this new year could be such a game changer for so many women. And so December, what I basically did was I talked about it all the time. So I'm going to basically, I have a few tips here that I'm just going to quickly run through of the things that I did. And then I want to kind of open it up for discussion and share with you guys some of the opportunities that we have as a team with this. So one of the first things that I did just right out of the gate was obviously talking about it a ton on Insta Stories. Insta Stories is where it's at. Like, in case you're wondering where people are hanging out, that's what they're watching. I think that they're scrolling a feed and liking things, but they're not engaging in a whole lot of content right now. I literally overheard my little sisters today, which, by the way, if you ever want to know like what's going to happen with adults in the next 2 years, just go talk to high schoolers right now. Like, high schoolers, like whatever like bag or brand they're carrying, like, oh, like for instance, great example, totally sidebarring here, but my mom today was like, oh, have you heard of the Herschel backpacks? I'm like, yeah, Mom, like college kids have been carrying those the past 2 years. Those are like it backpacks. She's like, oh, perfect. I bought your dad one. I just think it's hilarious. But I overheard them. They're like, I heard my sister, she was like talking to her little friend or whatever. She's like, I never look at the Instagram feed anymore. She's like, I literally just watch stories. And her friend goes, yeah, me too. Like, I literally don't even look at people's Instagrams, like what they post. I love stories. And I just think that's the direction things are moving in. I think that the idea of just clicking it and being able to, easily watch, it just kind of scrolls through everyone's Instagram stories. It's just easier for people because we're busy. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'll be in a work meeting and I'm like, like, I mean, not in front of face to face with someone, but like I'll zone out and I'll start looking at Instagram stories. And so 2 tips with that really quickly, I'll just say, number 1, Instagram stories is where it's at. That's where you need to be hanging out. That's where you need to be talking to people. That's where you need to be messaging the people that are looking at your Instagram stories. Like, I message people and say, hey, thanks so much for watching my Instagram stories. Or, hey, girl, I noticed you've been watching my Instagram stories. Like, I can tell you guys exactly what I say. I'm kind of trying to remember. But basically just along the lines of, like, is there anything you'd like to see more of? Like, I want to make sure I'm providing valuable content for you guys or something along those lines. And people always get back to me because I'm asking for their feedback one-on-one. And so it's a really great conversation starter. But sharing on Instagram stories, the second thing about Instagram stories is that, fun fact, 75% of people watch Instagram stories in a place where they can't listen to the sound. So if we post things and all we're doing is talking to the camera, but there's no words at the bottom, they literally hear nothing that you say because they're just clicking through it. Because so many people are watching it in their office. Maybe they're in their cubicle, but they can't have like the sound on. So they're just kind of clicking through their Instagram. So I learned this actually in a social media meeting last week for my full-time job. But that's why I have started putting words on, like, if I'm talking about a challenge group, like putting like words, maybe not every single thing that I said, but just like, are you interested in my next challenge group and poll? Or, just kind of highlighting some certain things. Like, maybe if I'm talking about a challenge group and what they're going to get, then putting the words on the screen as well. So still talking for those people who are listening so they can hear your heart, but then, because they may see it and be like, oh, I'm interested in that. I'm going to go back and watch that video later. But 75% of people are just watching them on mute. So just keep that in mind as you're posting. So Instagram stories is where people are hanging out. I started talking about it like 80-day obsession, literally as soon as I had access to, start building a list. So you can start talking about it even as soon as December 1 hits. I would say for this month, like, focus on this month right now. Like, we've got the $20 off. We don't need to start talking about Transform 20 just yet because the challenge packs won't be available till December 4th. But right now, let's finish out November really strong. Let's try to hit Success Club. Let's try to get those people plugged in with that $20 off. But when December 1 hits, you need to start talking about Transform 20. You need to start talking. You don't need to call it Transform 20 on your stories. You just need to be like, hey guys, we've got a brand new program coming out. It's 20 minutes. Think stepper, but not your mom's old school stepping class that you went to and watched her do. But a step program, and, get into the details, learn about it. Make sure that you are an expert of Transform 20 because you're a coach and that's what people expect of you. It's just like in your full-time job. Like, if you're a teacher, people expect you to know what how to teach, right? Like if you're a coach, like you should probably know about it. So do some research, watch YouTube videos, make sure that you understand the program. There's plenty of YouTube videos that are up that Sean T has done. He's done a lot of team calls. And so go back and watch one of those on YouTube of a team call he did with a team, and people ask questions on those. So it's really good because it's really going to help you get a really good idea of what the program's like. I have heard that every workout is different, just like 80-Day Obsession. So they're all filmed live, which is great. I don't know about you guys, but I love that because I'm doing Shift Shop right now and I'm like, the same workout twice in 1 week, I'm dying. Like it makes me dreaded. And I'm like, that's terrible. But if I don't know what's coming, it's a little bit like less brutal. So I love that. So make sure that you are an expert on that so you can start talking about it. I would say, so one thing that we will do as a team is we will create some sort of, I haven't decided yet, so this is where I want to get y'all's feedback here in just a second. But either a sneak peek Facebook group where we can add people to it. I didn't do that for 80-Day Obsession. For 80-Day Obsession, I called it the 80-Day Challenge, and I just put together an email. So what I did for my email was it was short and sweet. And I basically created like a PDF that broke down what the program was and kind of what the challenge group would be like. And I attached it to the email. So that way, because this is what I've learned, if you send people all the information in email, they scroll down and they look at the price. And when I kept the email really short and said, oh, I'm really excited, I kind of spoke to whatever they said that their like challenges were or whatever, like something that was not just generic, and then attached the PDF, I had way more people email me back. So I just kind of created this really quick PDF on Canva, and I just attached it. And then another thing I did was in the email. So basically, I could literally read you guys like what I've started sending people since then. But essentially, let's see here. I'll just pull it up really quick. It just said something along the lines of, hey, Lauren, I'm so excited that you would like to join the 80-Day Challenge. This virtual community is a commitment, but I truly believe if you go all in, you will get amazing results. It has been so exciting to see women commit to showing up and really experience a lifestyle change. I have attached a document that breaks down everything about the virtual community and gives you different options. Good news too, this month only the packages are listed $20 off. So this is obviously for this month. But if I don't hear back from you, I plan to follow up on Friday morning. So I always tell them when I'm planning to follow up. And then P.S. I have attached a few before and afters of some ladies who were part of my first round. As you will see, they got amazing results. With joy, Caroline. Short and sweet. Two big things that you guys hear that I did in that email. And this was for the virtual boot camp this month. But I learned all that from the 80-Day Obsession launch, before and afters. So that's another thing. In the Beachbody Champions page and in, let's see what other page, Beachbody, I think it's the Beachbody Champions page. It's all in there. People have already started posting their before and afters. You can honestly go to Google and just type in Transform 20, like results or before and afters. Just save a bunch of them on your computer. And I'll put together a folder for our team so that way you'll have easy access to all this stuff. So everything I'm telling you guys, like I'm going to create a little PDF or a folder for all this information for you as well. But I'll make a folder that's just before and afters, and I'll save a bunch of them and put them in there. That way you guys can easily access them. But even with Patrice, like I'll probably say, P.S. I've attached some photos of some ladies that were part of the test group. One of them is a girl who's a coach on my team, because instantly people are like, oh, it's a real person. Because what does everyone think when they see those before and afters? Like, that's not a real person. But it totally is. She's my friend. Like literally, she slept in my house. Like, like she did this group and those are the results that she's gotten. And so attaching those was a game changer too. Like so many people emailed me back by just making the email short and simple and sweet, having that PDF where they could go into it and they actually read through it, because like it wasn't like an email where they just scrolled to the bottom, they wanted to read it. And then also attaching those before and afters. I think like in December and January, people are like starting to feel a little frumpy. They've eaten a lot from Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so they're like, all right, like I got to get healthy. So that was the second thing. But what I was going to say is we also have an opportunity that we could do some sort of Facebook group where it's like a holding room for people who are interested in the program. I know that Patrice is doing that, and basically she's going live in there and just talking about what the program is. We did do that for Lift 4. It was like an interest group or a launch group. But the only thing about that is sometimes it gets a little out of hand because it's hard to keep up with whose people are whose people. And, you know, it's just kind of hard to keep everything organized, in my opinion. And it's another group we have to run. Whereas if you're kind of keeping up with your own people and you're talking to them about it and you're sending them information, I feel like that goes a little bit better. So Instagram stories, having a really good PDF or email to send to people. That's the second thing. The third thing is having a Google form. It doesn't have to be, I know you guys see the forms on my website and you're like, oh man, I don't have that. And just make it a Google form. I will provide that for you guys also, just as an example of questions to put. FYI, in case anyone didn't know this about Google Forms, you can literally copy all the information and paste it straight into a Google form. So it, like literally the questions, like you can copy and paste a question and it instantly knows if you need to make it a multiple choice or a drop down. Like I make my Google Forms in like 10 minutes. Like it's that easy. So just as an FYI, I learned that, I don't know, at some point in life. So you can literally just copy and paste it. So each person make their own, you know, tweak it. You can keep the front information the same and just put your name, you know, so that way people, when they come to it, they feel like, oh, okay, like that's Erica's, that's Caitlin's, like that's Emily's, you know, they're not like, wait, who's this person? So I really like the idea of every coach just having their own. But again, I will provide that for you guys. But basically what it does is just ask them about like, what have you tried before? What have you done that's worked? What have you done that hasn't worked? So that way when you're sending them the email, you can really speak to like, what are their trouble spots? Like maybe they say in that email, like, hey, my big problem is that I have a problem with food. And that's my biggest issue is like, you know, food. And then guess what? I'm going to tell that person, hey, in the email, I'm going to say, you're going to see packages in this document. I really highly recommend for you to go with the Transform 20 package that comes with the 2B mindset. And here's what the 2B mindset is. FYI, I'm probably going to be pushing the 2B mindset and the Transform 20 package. That's probably going to be like my number one. Because I just believe that like it goes together so well. Patrice followed the 2B mindset program as a part of the meal plan she did in the test group. So she got those results without like crazy restriction, which I love. Tara, oh yes, make a copy and it saves your drive and then you can edit it. Ah, so brilliant, Tara. Thank you. You're amazing. So everybody needs to copy and paste that and put it in their notes so that way they don't forget that. So that was the next thing. And then, you know, having the Google form where you can start holding people. So obviously December 4th is when we can start selling the challenge packs. So the big news that I wanted to tell you guys tonight that I'm really excited about is that Michelle Myers, myself, and 3 other leaders from Team Iron are going to be hosting a Transform 20 group together. So we're going to be hosting essentially like a test group together, which is going to be amazing for you guys. Here's the thing, like obviously with that many coaches, like we can't all be posting, like that would just get insane. So it's just going to be us 5 posting. So each of us will take a day. And essentially our recommendation to you guys is twofold. Either one, you can do our group and be in there as a challenger and take all the information and kind of be running your own challenge group if you want and using all of our content. We don't care. 2, you can bring your people to it and just be a part of it. And my recommendation with that would just be to start a Facebook message thread with just your people. So for me, I'm like, let's say that I have 20 women who sign up for this group. I'm going to start a little message thread with them on Facebook, which when I say message thread, I'm just talking about like the message thing and just like their names all in it to where we're just having a little combo ourselves. They're in the test group, but that way I have a place where I'm intimately checking in on my people and it's not just all these people in here, right? Because it's going to be a big group, like 5 coaches. Michelle's is like a top coach, you know, so it's going to be a lot of people. But I also think it's going to be really amazing because Karen's going to be doing it. Patrice is going to be doing it. Michelle, myself, and then a girl named Mandy Hayes. And so these women are all like insane, amazing, godly women who are going to bring so much to the table. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing group, especially heading into the new year for people. Like, I think it's going to just like break up some chains for sure. So that would be the recommendation. So you're welcome to do your own group. You don't have to do our group, even if you're just like, hey, I kind of want to do it for myself and just be a challenger in there. Oh yes, thank you, Caitlin. Then you totally can, but I would love it if you guys brought your people too, and we just like all did this to kick off the new year together. So the thing with our group and kind of what we're doing is December 31st is when it's going to start. That's going to be the start date, but we're going to have 2 weeks of prepping. So we're really going to get people prepped and ready for January 14th because that's when it actually launches. So for those of you who haven't been around for a launch, you'll have 2 different options with people, or 2 different kinds of people, I guess you'd say. You're going to have all your old people who already have Beachbody On Demand. They're going to probably have to pay, I think it's $30. They're going to have to pay $30 to unlock it on January 14th. Because if they're just a Beachbody On Demand member, they won't have access to this program until April. So January 14th is early access. That's amazing for you guys though, because all those people who only pay $99 for a year and you make a little bit of money off of them, all of a sudden, like you make, $30 doesn't sound like a lot, but when a whole bunch of your customers purchase that, that's going to really bump your volume for the month, which is really going to help your income. So that's why these program launches are so big if you can do them right. If you can bring in a lot of new people, but then get a lot of your old people who have already said yes, like the women who jumped in this month and got $20 off, guess what? In January, January 14th, if they want to jump in our Transform 20 group, they're going to have to purchase it early access, every single person, including all of us as coaches, by the way. But that's going to really help their volume, or your volume is what I'm trying to say, because you're making money off of your older people who've been with you for a while, but then also all these new people who are jumping in too. So it's really going to help bump up your volume. Cool. So I think that's everything. I think that's like all my announcements for now and kind of like what I did. It's nothing crazy. It's very similar to what we've done in the past. But I think, I'm open for questions and brainstorming. I literally went 20 minutes longer than I said I was going to on that whole section. So there we go. I love to talk. But I think there's just a lot to be said about new launches. If you didn't listen to Amber and Jake Kuiper's call from Monday from the National Wake Up Call, FYI, there's a podcast for Team Beachbody, National Wake Up Calls. So you can go back and listen to them. But it was really good. And they talked about how you can use a product launch to really transform your business. And so I'm definitely living proof of that, even with just 80-day challenge. Like, it was insane for me. So. All right. So any thoughts, anybody, first off? We'll take questions first and then we can dive into. Questions. I know somebody has a question.
So with the extra purchase of the early access.
Yes.
I want to make sure I talk about it right, because I could see myself thinking, if someone said that to me and they were like, oh, we want to get, like, let's say I'm trying to sign up people by the end of this month and I'm trying to sign up people in December. And I'm saying, okay, well, we've got these awesome deals. We'll buy a challenge pack and you have everything you need. And now here's this new rollout of a program. And I'm like, oh, actually, you also have to spend more money.
So basically, that's why people are going to want to buy the Transform 20 challenge pack in December. So there's all those challenge
packs. You can get around it. Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
So the Transform 20 challenge packs that are going live in December, those come with the digital unlock. So
perfect. Okay.
That's not going to be an added thing for those people. So
okay, cool.
So like that was the thing with like this month, for instance, like Shift Shop, why everybody was like, okay, well, why would I push a Shift Shop challenge pack? Like, what's the point? Because there was no like I pushed the Lift 4 challenge packs because they needed it, or else they were going to have to pay the extra $30. Does it make sense what I'm saying? So yeah. So, and then obviously they're going to get the stepper and all that good stuff too, which everyone's going to need.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that.
Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? What are y'all's thoughts? Like, is there anything that we can just open it up now and kind of brainstorm together, but like, do y'all like the idea of like hopping in with Michelle and Karen and all of us? Like, do y'all like that idea? Awesome.
I love it. I like the way that you also put the idea, or that you suggested also having like a little private side group so that no one feels like they're not being seen or heard, but they're getting so much more value than, you know, just what smaller groups can bring to the table.
Yeah, I totally
I think that's a huge thing to push, like when I am selling the program, is that it's a program in this massive community, that like you're getting excellent training, coaching, and just all of you guys who have been in this for so long and have so much knowledge to share and know exactly what people need from the group. It's just another big selling point.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think we haven't nailed down what we're going to call the group yet. We really haven't even talked about the details. We just know we're doing it. And it's starting December 31st. But I think the cool thing too is that for y'all, like in picking that date, it was really like, okay, it's almost like an end of year strong. Like there's so many things, key words there that you guys could talk about with people, like ending the year strong, starting the new year strong. Literally, we're starting December 31st. So it's like ending and starting. What was the other piece I was going to say? It's a test group essentially. So for a lot of people, that's really exciting because it's like we're all doing the same program together. There's just a lot of momentum in that. And so even people who have done programs in the past, they may not be super active in like a virtual boot camp or like a virtual gym or whatever, but all of a sudden when everyone's doing the same program together, they get really excited about it because they're like in it together and they're one of the first people that's doing it. So it's like, for whatever reason, people get really excited about that because it's like the thing they can go to work and be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this new program called Transform 20, you know, like, so even pitching it as a test group really gets people excited as well. Like, hey, you're kind of one of my pilot people who gets to do this program first, you know? So
that's smart.
What are y'all's thoughts? Like, would y'all like to do do y'all like the idea of like y'all kind of keeping up with your people and doing that way and me just providing like a Google Drive with like the photos and all that, and what my stuff looks like, or y'all want to do a Facebook group?
No Facebook group. Sorry.
I like the idea of joining y'all's group and then being able to kind of take your stuff and learn how to implement it into mine.
Yes.
Because I kind of started doing that group where I just have one group and I'm just going to keep it like that way, the way we heard on a few weeks ago, that call.
Yeah.
And so they've already got my trust and they're already in there and kind of interacting with each other. So I want to keep that momentum going.
Totally. I agree. And honestly too, Bonnie, what you could do, and I thought about doing this with mine as well. It's like you could in there be talking, like say all those girls are doing Transform 20, like you could be in there even talking about it if you wanted to, but then they're also part of the bigger group. So you can even reference like, hey guys, did y'all see that post that Karen did today in the Transform 20 group? Like, you know what I'm saying? To where it could almost be like, that's just where you're talking to them more intimately, but they're all still in that big test group.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And
it kind of seems like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it kind of seems like, you know, you go to church and you get the big sermon and you get the message and then you break into small groups and then you like take in the information, talk about it and bring it into your real life.
Yes, totally. 100%. Okay. I like that. And I think too, I don't know this for sure, but in the past with all launches, the trainer also does a test group just for coaches. So there'll be a good chance that Shanti will probably do some sort of Facebook challenge group for the month, like the first or the whole program, like just with that first group where just the coaches get to be in there, which is pretty cool because you get to ask questions of the trainer. And, you know, some people are a little too passionate about it, but you know, it's still pretty cool just to be able to get in there and see, like, you know, what questions people are asking and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to brainstorm about or talk about, or
it could be fun. I don't know how many people you can get to join an Instagram live, but I know that like if I hopped on and then you hop on, you could hop into my Instagram live and we could pre-plan, because what I've been trying to do with Instagram live videos is not just pop in live and start talking and then be sad when no one shows up, is like scheduling it out and saying, hey, Friday night at 7:30, I'll be going live. Would you join me, kind of thing? And if we did that, even if we can only do sets of 2, maybe like a couple different of our Fit for His Glory sisters partner up and together go live and have something fun to talk about or why we're excited about what's coming up, just like kind of doing it together and making it feel like a bigger deal.
I like that. Actually, so I did that with Michelle for To Be Mindset.
Oh yeah.
And we had really good turnout. The only issue we had was like it kind of like sometimes will mess up. Like it'll her face would go grainy and I was like, it like froze. But I also did it. I interviewed Carrie one time, who's on our team, Carrie Avery. She's lost 150 pounds, by the way, which is insane. Like I'm like, that is a whole me. Like that's how much you've lost. But I interviewed her one time on my Instagram live, and we like told everyone we were doing it. Like I talked it up for a couple days. And we had a really amazing turnout. And she actually got like a ton of challengers from it and stuff, like because people just like hearing her story and stuff. So I think that my whole point is like being able to say when we're doing it, like you said, and then people can put it on their calendar and like plan to hop on. I love that.
I have a question for Caitlin real quick before I forget. Caitlin, you don't use Facebook, right? Or you tried to back off?
I'm just utilizing a Facebook group. I haven't really launched it yet because I don't have enough people. 10 is my goal, 10 of my own clients, and then launching mine. I'm going to do it just like you. I'm going to have the one group. But I'm not
a young girl
on it personally, really.
Okay. Because I had a young girl reach out to me and she was all excited. She's in college and she's gained, that first 2 years, she's gained some weight. She wants to do it. And she was all excited. And then she texted and said, I don't have Facebook. And she didn't seem open to ever getting Facebook.
Yeah.
She found
so I have had a couple people say that. And if I had more than 2, I would probably move it to the My Challenge Tracker app. Or at least just for that challenge, and tell them like, hey, you can create a dummy account and just be on there for our group. Or you'll just only get the benefits of maybe being a part of this challenge, and then you'll just have to, you'll just lose out on some of that. But I mean, they don't have to add anyone, but that would be my first suggestion, because that's what I did before when I had deactivated mine, was I just made another dummy account to run a group.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a couple people that have done that. And they've just like created dummy accounts, like some of them not even their names at all, like just something really crazy like butterfly, and I'm like, okay. There was this one girl who legit, like, I was like, I don't even know what this girl looks like, because her profile picture is literally a butterfly, and I was like, but like, what is your real name again? So yeah, but that's an idea as well. Like they can just create a dummy account and that way they can see it all.
Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Any other questions? Are y'all excited about the team retreat? I'm so excited.
Yes. This is when I met Caroline. I actually came and filmed some video for last year's team retreat. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad that I'm not a part of this. This looks so cool. So all year I've been like, yes. I can do this now. I'm like on the other side.
You're a part of it.
I can still take some video if you want me to. But
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and I know for sure, like, there's already a ton of people that are going to be coming, so it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I live in Nashville, guys, so anyone who's coming into town from out of town, I've got a full guest bedroom and a few other options.
Hey, Emily lives in Nashville too, so she's on here. So we need to, she's the one I was telling you, like, we need to all get coffee.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I wish you other guys could join us. I know, Erica's like, man.
Anybody in Texas with me?
Hey, we do have a coach. Elizabeth Dunn lives in Texas. She hasn't been as active the past like 2 months because girl does it all. She's a homeschool mom and works full time and does Beachbody, and her husband's a youth pastor. So, but they live in Texas, and she's awesome.
Okay.
That's it. All right, ladies. Well, I'm really excited. This is going to be awesome. Be on the lookout. I'll send you guys, I'll probably post like in the next few days, the Google Drive with all the stuff. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Jessica just shared the Shanti's dates for the test group.
Sweet.
Perfect. That's amazing. Okay. Yay. So I'll share with you guys in a post, just like the Google Drive with all the stuff in it. And then if you guys have any ideas, again, like open book, hit me up, let me know, or any questions. And I have to take a picture of us all really quick before we all hop off. So smile, Caitlin. So cute. Okay, hang on. Sorry. We got to do it again because I accidentally wasn't paying attention and some people got cut off. Okay, smile. Yay, I love it. Okay. Now no one can complain about me taking a picture of you with a double chin. Like, oh, great. That was an awesome picture of me. All right. Well, I just love seeing you guys. Y'all are awesome. Let me close this out in prayer really quick because I want to pray for you guys. And then, let me know if you need anything. Heavenly Father, God, thank you so much for this night with my girls, Lord. I am just so thankful for them and just the joy that they bring my heart, Lord, and just the desire that we all have to, number one, make you famous and bring you glory, God, but number two, help people get fit and healthy. And it's just such an honor to serve and lead them, God, and just sharpen one another. And I cannot wait to hug their necks in March, God, in Nashville. And God, I'm just so thankful for them. So, Lord, I pray that you would just have your hand in and over their businesses, Lord. We know that, that it can be difficult to juggle multiple things, God, and we're all have a lot on our plates, God, but we really want to use this to bring you glory, God. And so I pray that you would give us discipline and consistency, and you would just bring the people, God. You would bring amazing women into our lives who we can love and serve. And God, I pray that if they're feeling discouraged or whatever, God, distracted in the business or just not feeling like they're getting a lot of momentum, God, I pray that you would literally this week bring people into their life that just encourage them and just give them that momentum that they need, God. We love you so much, and I thank you for who you are and what you've done on this team, and I cannot wait to see how you're going to use them this week and this month and this year. And so it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have an amazing night. Thanks for being on. I'll tag you guys in this photo and send it to you. So
Okay. Bye.
Bye.